My chosen vessel, listen carefully. Tonight, before the clock strikes 11:55 p.m., something is shifting over your house. Not your neighbor's house, not your friend's house, yours. And this message is not random. It is not an accident that you clicked on this. God says, don't tell anyone. This is only for you. Yes, you heard that correctly. This is not a public announcement. This is a private instruction. And if you skip this, you may miss the very door that heaven is about to open in your home. Right now, there is a silence in the spiritual realm surrounding your house. A holy silence. The kind that happens before a breakthrough. The kind that happens before walls fall. The kind that happens before a miracle steps through the front door. Archangel Michael is standing guard at the entrance of your dwelling. Not symbolically, spiritually. His sword is raised, not in anger, but in protection. Because what is about to arrive cannot be touched by fear, doubt, or evil intentions. It has your name written on it. You have been praying in secret. You have been crying when no one sees. You have been asking God, when will my home change? When will the atmosphere shift? When will peace return? And heaven has heard every whisper. But here is the shock. The delay was never denial. The delay was preparation. Something had to be removed first. Something had to be exposed first. There were energies, conversations, even hidden intentions around you that could not coexist with the miracle that is coming. And God says clearly, don't tell anyone. Because not everyone around you is ready for what is about to happen in your life. Some people celebrate you only when you are small. Some people are comfortable when your house struggles. But when favor walks into your living room, when restoration sits at your dining table, when abundance touches your finances, suddenly, the atmosphere changes. That is why this instruction is urgent. Before 11:55 p.m. tonight, you must open your spirit. Not your phone. Not your door. Your spirit. Because your biggest miracle is not arriving in a box. It is arriving as a shift. A shift in energy. A shift in authority. A shift in ownership. God is reassigning spiritual authority over your house. For too long, you have felt like something was off. Small arguments becoming big ones. Sudden tiredness without reason. Opportunity slipping away at the last moment. You blamed yourself. You questioned your faith. But Archangel Michael has been fighting battles you never saw. And tonight, the fight reaches its conclusion. There is something about your house that heaven has marked. It is not ordinary ground. The enemy tried to create confusion there because he knows what God plans to build there. A testimony. A sanctuary. A place of restoration. Listen carefully. Within your walls, there will soon be laughter that has not been heard in years. There will be peace in rooms that once carried tension. There will be provision where there was lack. But this miracle requires alignment. That is why you were drawn here. That is why your eyes are on this message right now. God needed your attention before the appointed hour. If you ignore this, nothing bad will suddenly explode. That is not how this works. But you may miss the alignment window. You may miss the sensitivity of spirit required to receive what is already on its way. And here is the deeper revelation. Someone connected to your house is about to be exposed. Not to destroy them, but to reveal truth. A hidden motive. A hidden behavior. A hidden influence. And once it is revealed, the atmosphere will clear. This exposure is not punishment. It is purification. Archangel Michael does not only fight enemies outside your house. He also removes hidden corruption within the circle, because a miracle cannot sit comfortably in a contaminated space. You have felt it, a strange intuition, a feeling that something is not fully transparent. That intuition was not anxiety, it was discernment. And now the clock is ticking. Heaven works with timing. There are divine minutes that matter more than entire years. Tonight, before 11:55 p.m., you must do one thing: surrender control. Stop trying to fix everything yourself. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind. Stop carrying the spiritual weight of your household alone. God is stepping in. And when God steps in, doors open that no human effort could unlock. Do you feel that stirring in your chest right now? That is not emotion. That is confirmation. Your biggest miracle is not about money alone. It is not about fame. It is about restoration inside your home, emotional healing, spiritual authority, divine protection. And once it begins, you will move quickly. There will be a phone call. There will be unexpected news. There will be a conversation that shifts everything. But first is silence. Don't tell anyone. This is only for you. Because premature celebration attracts premature interference. Keep this in your heart. Guard it. Let it mature. Archangel Michael is sealing your home tonight. Windows spiritually covered. Doors spiritually guarded. Foundations spiritually reinforced. The battle has been loud. The victory will be quiet at first. But by tomorrow, you will begin to notice something different. A lightness, a clarity, a sudden solution. This is not coincidence. This is orchestration. And you were warned in advance. The next revelation will explain what you must watch for inside your own house, because the sign will be subtle, but unmistakable. Beloved of heaven, what I am about to reveal now is the sign you must watch for inside your own house. It will not come with thunder. It will not shake the walls. It will be subtle, almost easy to overlook. But if your spirit is alert, you will recognize it immediately. The first sign of your coming miracle is a sudden calm where there used to be tension. A conversation that normally turns into conflict will end peacefully. A person who usually resists you will soften without explanation. You will feel as if the air itself has changed. That is not imagination. That is divine interference. Archangel Michael has already begun repositioning spiritual forces around your home. What felt heavy is being lifted. What felt blocked is being cleared. And you will notice it in small, almost ordinary moments. Do not underestimate those moments. Miracles often enter quietly before they become undeniable. There is also something else. An object in your house will draw your attention. It may be a room you have ignored, a drawer you have not opened in months, a document, a photograph, a forgotten idea. When your eyes fall on it, you will feel a sudden realization. That realization is connected to your breakthrough. God is aligning practical steps with spiritual timing. This is not only about prayer. This is about obedience. When the thought comes to you tonight to clean, rearrange, forgive, or reach out, do not delay. That impulse will not be random. It will be instruction. The exposure that was mentioned earlier will begin with truth surfacing in a natural way. Someone may accidentally reveal more than they intended, or you may suddenly understand a pattern that was hidden before. Do not react emotionally. Observe. Discern. Let Archangel Michael handle the confrontation in the unseen realm while you remain calm in the visible one. Your miracle is not fragile. It does not depend on perfect conditions. but it does require your cooperation. If you argue with what is being revealed, you will slow the process. If you trust the process, you will accelerate it. There is urgency in this hour, but not panic. Panic is not from God. Urgency is simply alignment with divine timing. Before 11:55 p.m., set the atmosphere in your home. Even if you live alone, speak peace into your space. Declare that your house belongs to God. Declare that no hidden agenda can survive under divine light. You may feel a strange resistance while doing this. A distraction. A sudden desire to scroll, to postpone, to say I'll do it later. The resistance is proof that something significant is at stake. Push through it. Heaven responds to decisive faith. And hear this clearly. Not everyone needs to know what is shifting in your house. The instruction remains the same. Keep this between you and God. The moment you start explaining your expectations to people who do not understand your spiritual journey, doubt begins to leak into the atmosphere. Protect the promise. There is also financial movement connected to this miracle. It may not look dramatic at first. It could begin as a small opportunity, a new idea, a repayment, a door that reopens. Do not dismiss small beginnings. Major harvests often start with one overlooked seed. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your peace, he is guarding your provision. There were plans formed against your stability that never reached you because they were intercepted. That is why some attacks felt incomplete. That is why some threats dissolved without explanation. Now you are entering the reward phase. And this is important. When the shift becomes visible, do not respond with fear. Some people become uncomfortable when life finally improves because they have grown used to struggle. Do not sabotage your own blessing by questioning whether you deserve it. You do. If this message is resonating in your spirit right now, do something powerful. Like this video as a sign of agreement with what God is declaring over your house. Share it with someone who needs protection over their home. Comment with faith, not fear. And if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, this is your moment to connect, because these messages are not random uploads. They are spiritual appointments. Join the membership if you feel called to go deeper and stand in alignment with this mission. Something greater is unfolding, and the next revelation will uncover why tonight's specific time holds spiritual significance for your address. Trust me, what you are about to understand will change how you see your own front door forever. Faithful one, the reason tonight's hour matters is not superstition. It is alignment. There are moments in time when heaven synchronizes movement, and 11:55 p.m. represents the final stretch before a shift. 5 minutes before midnight is symbolic of completion pressing against manifestation. It is the edge between what was and what is about to be. And your house is standing on that edge. This is why you were told to open this immediately. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Timing matters when a spiritual gate is closing and another is opening. Archangel Michael has been positioned at that gate, ensuring that what exits your home does not return, and what enters is sealed by divine authority. You may have noticed that cycles in your house often repeat near breakthrough. Just when things seem to improve, something small disrupts the peace. A misunderstanding. A bill. A delay. That pattern was not random. It was a last-minute attempt to keep you from crossing into stability. But tonight, that pattern breaks. The exposure that was hinted at earlier will clarify loyalties. It will show you who carries your best interest and who benefits from your confusion. Do not fear this revelation. When light turns on in a room, it does not argue with the darkness. It simply makes it disappear. Your miracle is tied to clarity. Once truth is visible, decisions become easier. Once confusion lifts, direction becomes obvious. You have been praying for guidance, but guidance first requires vision. And God is correcting your vision inside your own house. There is also something sacred about your egress. You may think it is temporary. You may think it is ordinary. But heaven sees it as a training ground, a preparation chamber. What is about to happen there will prepare you for larger territory. If peace cannot be sustained in a small space, it cannot be sustained in a greater one. That is why this miracle begins at home. Archangel Michael is not only guarding, he is establishing order. Disorder cannot host divine expansion. Tonight, spiritual alignment flows through your rooms like unseen oil. Where there was friction, there will be flow. Where there was stagnation, there will be movement. Do not be surprised if you sleep differently after tonight. Many of you have been waking up between certain hours, sensing restlessness. That unrest was connected to unfinished spiritual battles. When those battles conclude, your rest will deepen. Peace will feel natural again. And hear this carefully. Your miracle is not loud because it is legal. What God is releasing into your house has been authorized. There is no argument against it that can stand. The paperwork in the spiritual realm has already been signed. But heaven waits for agreement. Agreement does not mean perfection. It means trust. It means you stop rehearsing fear and start expecting restoration. It means when doubt whispers, you answer with faith. It means when anxiety tries to rise, you declare that your house is under divine governance. This is the turning point. Like tomorrow, you will begin to notice evidence. It may be a message that brings relief. It may be a financial shift. It may be an emotional breakthrough within someone living under your roof. Pay attention to the subtle. Miracles often introduce themselves quietly before they announce themselves publicly. And remember the instruction: do not tell anyone prematurely. Protect the seed while it is still growing. There will be a time to testify, but first let it take root. If this message is confirming something deep within you, respond prophetically. Type "My house is sealed" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 4455 has just been released over your home tonight. Now hear this final word before we move deeper. The miracle approaching your house is not only for comfort, it is for assignment. Your home will become a place of counsel, of prayer, of restoration for others. What you receive will overflow. That is why the attack was intense. The greater the calling over a house, the greater the attempt to disturb it. But disturbance ends now. And as this sacred alignment completes, I must speak to those who feel this stirring strongly. When you sow into what feeds your spirit, you participate in the harvest of other souls. Scripture declares, "Give, and it will be given to you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just ink on a page. It is God speaking directly into your obedience. When you release through Super Thanks membership, with a PayPal link in the description, you are not funding a channel. You are fueling a river of light that reaches homes in darkness. I feel led to say this. I am stepping forward because heaven is using this message to protect my house. As you sow, may your own house receive multiplied peace, multiplied provision, multiplied protection. Let your seed become oil that keeps this lamp burning for nations. Do not hesitate. Act in faith and seal your agreement with heaven today. Precious soul, now that the seal has been spoken and the atmosphere over your house has shifted, you must understand what happens immediately after divine authorization. There is always a testing of focus, not a testing of worthiness, but a testing of attention. When heaven moves, distractions attempt to compete. In the next hours, you may notice something unusual. Small irritations may try to surface. A sudden memory may attempt to pull you backward. Someone may say something that feels slightly provoking. This is not coincidence. It is the final echo of what is losing power over your home. Do not engage with it. Archangel Michael is still standing guard, but your agreement with peace must remain active. Protection does not replace discipline. It strengthens it. When you refuse to react, you are not being weak. You are demonstrating authority. Your house has carried invisible weight for a long time. Iterational patterns. Spoken words from the past. Decisions made under pressure. Some of those patterns were never consciously invited, yet they settled into the foundation like dust. And over time, that dust became heaviness. The night marked the beginning of removal. But removal is a process. Think of it as renovation. When a house is being restored, there is movement, noise, and rearrangement before beauty is revealed. Do not misinterpret movement as instability. It is restructuring. You may feel an urge to rearrange something physically in your home, to clean out a closet, to move furniture, to throw away items that carry old memories. Follow that instinct carefully. Your physical environment is connected to your spiritual clarity more than you realize. As you create space physically, you are signaling readiness spiritually. There is also healing attached to this miracle. Emotional healing that you thought would take years may begin to accelerate. A conversation that seemed impossible may suddenly feel natural. Forgiveness that felt forced may become genuine. This is not because people changed overnight. It is because the spiritual pressure that magnified conflict has lifted. Archangel Michael's assignment was not only to defend, it was to enforce divine order. Order restores rhythm, and rhythm restores peace. You must also guard your thoughts in the coming days. When improvement begins, the mind sometimes searches for hidden problems. It looks for what might go wrong. This is a learned survival habit from seasons of struggle. But you are not in that season anymore. The shift has begun. When doubt tries to narrate your future, interrupt it. Speak life over your house. The big expectation. Speak gratitude before you see full evidence. Gratitude accelerates manifestation because it aligns your spirit with what God has already released. There is something else happening that you cannot see. Conversations are taking place about you. Not negative ones, but strategic ones. Doors are being discussed. Opportunities are being positioned. Favor is being negotiated in rooms you have never entered. And the reason is simple. Your house has come into alignment. Alignment attracts access. The miracle that is approaching your home is layered. The first layer is peace. The second layer is clarity. The third layer is provision. And beyond provision is purpose. You are not being stabilized just to remain comfortable. You are being stabilized to become influential. Your house will become known for something. It may not be famous publicly, but spiritually it will carry weight. When people enter, they will feel calm without knowing why. When conversations happen there, solutions will flow. When decisions are made there, they will carry wisdom. This is the true miracle. Not just change, but transformation of atmosphere. But transformation requires consistency. After tonight, maintain what has been established. Continue speaking life. Continue rejecting negativity. Continue inviting divine presence intentionally. Do not assume that because the battle has shifted, you no longer need awareness. Peace must be maintained just as strongly as it is obtained. You may also experience confirmation through dreams. Pay attention to symbols of doors, keys, light, or clearing storms. These are indicators that your subconscious is aligning with what heaven has declared. Write them down if they are vivid. They are not random. And here is a powerful truth. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not what enters your house, but what leaves. Anxiety leaving. Conflict leaving. Financial strain loosening. Oppression lifting. When you feel that lightness, acknowledge it. That is evidence. The next revelation will uncover why your obedience tonight positions you ahead of others who ignored their moment. Timing creates separation. Those who respond move forward. Those who delay remain where they are. You were chosen to hear this because your house carries destiny. And destiny cannot remain buried under disorder forever. Anointed listener, what you are stepping into now is acceleration. Not chaos, not pressure, but acceleration. There is a difference. Chaos feels scattered. Acceleration feels directed. And what is happening over your house is divinely directed movement. You may begin to notice that things which once took months to resolve start shifting within days. Conversations that dragged endlessly will suddenly reach conclusion. Decisions that felt complicated will become simple. This is the evidence that resistance has weakened. Archangel Michael's presence around your dwelling has not only defended, it has cleared pathways. Imagine a road that was once blocked with invisible debris. You kept trying to move forward, but something unseen slowed you down. Now that debris has been removed, the road is open. Do not be surprised if opportunities approach you instead of you chasing them. When alignment happens in the spiritual realm, attraction replaces striving. You will feel less desperate and more confident, less anxious and more certain. That inner stability is a sign that your house is no longer under the same spiritual weight. But with acceleration comes responsibility. You must not revert to old thinking patterns. If you receive good news, do not immediately think, "This won't last." If peace enters your home, do not brace yourself for disaster. Those reflexes belong to a previous season. You are no longer there. There is something powerful about the words spoken inside a house. Words linger. Words settle into walls. Words echo in ways you cannot physically hear. In the coming days, be intentional about what is spoken under your roof. Replace criticism with encouragement. Replace doubt with affirmation. Replace complaint with gratitude. Your miracle is sensitive to atmosphere. You might also feel drawn to reconnect with someone you distanced yourself from. Be wise. Not every reconnection is divine. But some separations were caused by misunderstanding, not malice. As clarity increases, you will discern which relationships deserve restoration and which require permanent distance. This is where discernment becomes crucial. Archangel Michael's role is protection, but your role is wisdom. If someone was removed from your space for consistent harm, do not reopen doors out of loneliness. Peace is more valuable than familiarity. There is also a financial dimension unfolding quietly. An idea that once seemed unrealistic may now feel practical. A skill you overlooked may become profitable. A connection may introduce you to something unexpected. Pay attention to what feels natural. Divine provision often aligns with gifts you already carry. Your house is not just a place of rest. It is becoming a launch point. And here is something deeper. The miracle coming to your house is generational. It is not limited to your personal comfort. It is altering patterns that would have continued beyond you. Children, relatives, future decisions, all are being influenced by what shifts now. That is why the opposition was strong. Breaking cycles is never casual. But once a cycle is broken, it does not easily rebuild itself. You may sense a renewed desire to pray differently, not from desperation, but from authority. That shift in tone matters. When you pray from authority, you are not begging. You are aligning with what has already been declared. There may also be physical confirmation in your environment. A repair that suddenly becomes affordable. A document that moves forward. A delay that resolves. These are not small coincidences. They are threads of a larger design. Do not rush the unfolding. Acceleration does not mean impatience. It means steady progress without obstruction. Allow each development to settle before seeking the next. You might feel moments of overwhelming gratitude in the coming days. Let yourself feel it fully. Gratitude anchors miracles into permanence. When you thank God before full manifestation, you demonstrate trust beyond evidence. Remember the instruction that started this journey. Do not tell everyone prematurely. Protect what is forming, not because you are hiding, but because you are nurturing. Seeds grow underground before they become visible. The next revelation will uncover how your obedience at this precise time separates you from previous limitations permanently. There is a line being drawn spiritually, and you have stepped across it. What remains behind you cannot cross over unless you invite it. Your house has entered a new chapter, and chapters, once turned, do not flip backward on their own. Warrior of quiet faith, what is happening now is separation. Not isolation from people, but separation from limitation. There is a spiritual line that has been drawn around your house, and what used to cross freely no longer has access. Patterns that once entered easily will now feel blocked at the door. You may not see a physical barrier, but you will sense a new boundary. Situations that previously drained you will lose their grip. Individuals who thrived on confusion in your space will feel uncomfortable. It will not be because you changed your personality. It will be because the atmosphere has changed its tolerance. Archangel Michael enforces boundaries where God establishes covenant. And your house has just been placed under renewed covenant protection. This is why some people may suddenly distance themselves without explanation. Do not chase them. When light intensifies, those committed to darkness naturally withdraw. Their departure is not rejection. It is refinement. At the same time, expect alignment with new connections. People who speak clarity instead of chaos. People who bring solutions instead of stress. Conversations will feel lighter. Collaboration will feel smoother. You will recognize quickly who belongs in this new chapter. There is also a shift happening within you. Your reactions are changing. Where you once felt triggered, you now feel composed. Where you once felt pressured, you now feel patient. That internal stability is proof that the miracle has already begun inside before it manifests outside. Separation also means decisions. There may be something in your house that you have tolerated for too long. A habit, a pattern, a compromise. Now that clarity has increased, it will be impossible to ignore it. You will feel a gentle but firm conviction to address it. Do not resist that conviction. It is not condemnation. It is course correction. Your obedience in small adjustments will unlock larger outcomes. The miracle approaching your house is precise. It aligns with discipline. If you remove what weakens your environment, what strengthens it will multiply faster. Financially, you may notice wiser thinking. Impulse decisions will lose appeal. Long-term stability will feel more attractive than short-term satisfaction. This is another sign of divine recalibration. Provision is not only about receiving more, it is about managing wisely what is already present. You are being prepared for sustainability, not just breakthrough. In the coming days, protect your mornings and evenings intentionally. These transitional hours carry spiritual sensitivity. Even a few moments of gratitude or quiet reflection in your home will reinforce what has been established. You do not need long rituals. You need consistency. And hear this clearly. Do not interpret temporary silence as an activity. Sometimes after a major spiritual shift, there is a brief quiet period. This quiet is integration. It is the settling of new foundations. Do not grow impatient during it. Archangel Michael remains stationed, but your awareness must remain active. If old thoughts attempt to revisit, dismiss them calmly. If old fears attempt to whisper, answer them with the evidence of peace you are already experiencing. Your house is no longer vulnerable in the way it once was. Now let me speak directly to your participation in this moment. If this message has strengthened you, if you feel clarity growing as you listen, then take action right now. Like this video as a declaration that your house is under divine order. Share it with someone who needs protection over their home. Write a comment of agreement and faith. Subscribe if you have not already, because these are not ordinary messages. They are strategic releases. Join the membership if you desire to stand consistently in this covering and grow deeper in understanding. There is something else unfolding that you must be prepared for. In the next revelation, you will understand why the miracle approaching your house will also test your humility. Not to humble you painfully, but to anchor you securely. What comes next will make everything clearer. Hold your focus. What is about to be revealed will connect every detail you have experienced so far. Steadfast heart. Now you must understand why humility is connected to the miracle approaching your house. When God elevates a space, He first stabilizes the spirit within that space. Elevation without humility creates imbalance. But elevation anchored in humility creates longevity. What is coming to your house will not only improve your environment, it will increase your influence. Others will begin to notice the shift. They may ask what changed. They may wonder how peace suddenly replaced pressure. And in that moment, humility will protect what pride could damage. Archangel Michael does not guard arrogance. He guards alignment. If you begin to believe that this shift happened because of your strength alone, you weaken the covering. But if you remain grateful and grounded, the protection intensifies. You may receive recognition for something connected to your home. Perhaps a project completed there will gain attention. Perhaps a decision made there will prove wise. Perhaps a restoration in your household will inspire someone else. When that happens, respond with quiet confidence, not loud pride. Humility does not mean hiding. It means remembering the source. There is also refining happening in your motives. Why do you want peace? Why do you want provision? Why do you want expansion? If your answer is only comfort, the miracle will feel temporary. But if your answer includes purpose, the miracle becomes sustainable. Your house is being positioned as a place of counsel and strength. People may begin to seek your advice more often. They may sense that your perspective carries calm authority. This is not accidental. When a house is spiritually aligned, wisdom flows more freely within it. But wisdom requires humility to be received. There may also be a subtle temptation to revisit past wounds once things improve. Sometimes when peace enters, old memories surface as if asking for final closure. Allow them to pass through without reopening pain. Closure does not require re-experience. It requires release. Archangel Michael's presence ensures protection from external attack, but internal peace requires your cooperation. If you cling to resentment, you create openings that were just sealed. If you rehearse old betrayals, you revive shadows that were fading. Let the past remain past. The miracle unfolding is not meant to prove anyone wrong. It is meant to establish you firmly. If someone who doubted you witnesses your stability, do not use it as a moment of revenge. Use it as a moment of quiet testimony. There is also a spiritual maturity developing within you. You are less reactive, less defensive, more observant. That maturity is part of the blessing. Peace without maturity can be lost quickly. Peace with maturity becomes unshakable. In the coming days, you may be entrusted with a decision that impacts more than just you. Take your time with it. Pray before responding. Consult wisdom before committing. A miracle coming to your house includes discernment for larger territory. You might feel moments of awe, almost disbelief, at how quickly things are shifting. When that happens, do not shrink back. Expansion can feel unfamiliar at first. Step into it gradually but confidently. Humility will also protect your relationships. As your environment improves, ensure that gratitude is expressed openly to those who stood by you during difficulty. Honor loyalty. Appreciate support. Stability grows stronger when appreciation flows freely. Remember that the instruction to keep this quiet was for protection, not secrecy forever. When the right time comes, your testimony will speak naturally. But premature announcement invites unnecessary interference. The next revelation will uncover how your obedience has already altered your future timeline. There are events that would have occurred differently if you had ignored this alignment. But because you responded, your path has shifted. Your house is not only experiencing a miracle, it is stepping into destiny with balance. And balance is what keeps blessings from becoming burdens. Chosen guardian of your household, what you are about to understand now is profound. Your obedience did not just affect your present atmosphere, it altered your future timeline. There were outcomes forming quietly ahead of you that would have repeated old struggles. But because you aligned when you did, those outcomes have been rewritten. This is how divine intervention works. It does not always remove you from a path dramatically. Sometimes it subtly redirects you before you even realize you were heading toward limitation. Archangel Michael's assignment around your house included interception. Plans that were advancing toward you have been stopped mid-motion. Decisions others were preparing to make have shifted. Conversations that would have excluded you are being reframed. You will never fully see what was prevented, and that is the beauty of protection. In the coming weeks, you may notice doors opening that feel surprisingly smooth. Where you once expected resistance, there will be cooperation. Where you once prepared for rejection, there will be acceptance. Do not overanalyze it. This is what happens when your timeline comes into agreement with divine intention. There is also something happening beneath the surface of your own thinking. Your expectations are changing. You are no longer preparing for the worst by default. Instead, you are beginning to anticipate stability. That internal shift is powerful because expectation influences perception. When you expect conflict, you find it. When you expect favor, you recognize it. Your house is moving from survival mode into stewardship mode. Survival mode reacts. Stewardship mode plans. Survival mode fears loss. Stewardship mode manages growth. You are transitioning into stewardship. That means what enters your house now must be handled wisely. There may be a financial opportunity presented soon that looks modest at first glance. It may not appear dramatic, but it carries long-term potential. Do not dismiss it because it is not flashy. Sustainable miracles rarely arrive with noise. You may also find yourself thinking differently about space. Perhaps you will consider rearranging, upgrading, or even relocating in the future. Do not rush such decisions. Let clarity settle first. When divine timing initiates a move, it feels peaceful, not pressured. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that whatever is meant for your house will not miss its address. You do not need to chase destiny. You need to remain aligned. There is something else you must guard carefully: comparison. As your stability increases, you may become aware of how others are progressing. Do not measure your miracle against someone else's timeline. What has been established in your house is specific to your assignment. Comparison disrupts gratitude. You have been positioned uniquely. The exposure that occurred earlier was necessary because hidden instability could not accompany long-term expansion. Now that truth has surfaced and boundaries have strengthened, your environment can sustain growth without collapsing under pressure. In quiet moments, reflect on how far you have already come. Acknowledge the difference in your reactions, your thoughts, your peace. That reflection will anchor humility as increase continues. And now hear this sacred instruction. Type "My timeline is shifted" in the comments if you receive this word with faith. Blessing code 8181 has just been activated over your house and future. What comes next requires continued agreement. Your miracle is not a single event. It is a season. Seasons must be stewarded. As this understanding settles within you, I must speak to those who feel the weight of this moment deeply. When you sow into what shifts timelines, you participate in rewriting stories beyond your own. Scripture declares that when seed is planted in good ground, it multiplies beyond expectation. This is not theory. It is living truth. If your spirit is saying, "I will stand with this mission," then release through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description as a prophetic act. You are not giving to a platform. You are fueling a stream of revelation that reaches home standing on the edge of change. As you sow, may your own timeline accelerate in favor, protection, and provision. Let your offering become light in someone else's midnight hour. Do not delay your obedience. Act now and seal your alignment with heaven. Faithful one, now that your timeline has shifted and your house has entered a new spiritual season, you must understand the weight of maintenance. Breakthrough is powerful, but maintenance is what preserves it. Many receive miracles, few sustain them. You are being prepared to sustain what has arrived. The peace settling over your home is not accidental emotion. It is constructed order. Order must be respected. That means continuing the habits that invited clarity in the first place. If you open your spirit intentionally before 11:55 p.m., continue opening it daily in smaller, consistent ways. Do not let urgency disappear just because relief has arrived. Archangel Michael remains assigned, but protection does not eliminate personal responsibility. If negative conversations attempt to re-enter your house, close them down gently, but firmly. If old patterns try to sneak back disguised as harmless habits, recognize them early. The difference now is that you can see clearly. Clarity is your new advantage. You may begin noticing subtle tests of gratitude. Minor inconveniences might occur, not as punishment, but as evaluation. Will you respond with frustration as before, or with perspective? Growth is measured in reaction. When you respond calmly where you once reacted emotionally, you confirm that transformation is genuine. There is also expansion approaching that requires preparation. Expansion may come in the form of guests, opportunities, responsibilities, or even physical changes to your living space. Do not fear expansion. Prepare for it. Organize what you have. Simplify where necessary. Strengthen routines. Your house is transitioning from being a place that absorbs pressure to a place that radiates stability. You might feel a renewed desire to invest in your environment. Perhaps you will improve something small that you previously ignored. Do not dismiss that instinct. Improvement signals expectation. When you treat your space as valuable, you align with the value God sees in it. At the same time, remain grounded. Do not allow material improvement to replace spiritual awareness. The true miracle is not cosmetic. It was foundational. Everything visible is flowing from what shifted invisibly. There may also be reconciliation that unfolds slowly. Someone who once opposed you may begin to soften over time. Do not rush reconciliation. Let consistent peace prove itself. Trust is rebuilt through patterns, not promises. Your discernment is sharper now. If something feels misaligned, you will sense it quickly. Honor that awareness. In previous seasons, you doubted your intuition. Now it is refined. Archangel Michael's guarding has cleared interference, making your perception more accurate. Another truth you must hear is this: not everyone will understand your new calm. Some may interpret it as distance. Some may think you have changed too much. In reality, you have matured. Stability can look unfamiliar to those accustomed to drama. You not shrink your growth to make others comfortable. Stay steady. Financially, stewardship will continue to be emphasized. If increase comes, manage it wisely. If opportunity arises, evaluate it prayerfully. Quick gain without alignment can destabilize long-term peace. Patience remains essential even in acceleration. Emotionally, you may notice deeper rest. Sleep may improve. Anxiety may decrease. Creativity may increase. These are signs that your internal environment mirrors your external one. When a house is peaceful, the mind becomes productive. There is something beautiful about this stage. It is not dramatic like the breakthrough moment. It is quiet strength. Quiet strength builds legacy. Children raised in peaceful houses carry different confidence. Decisions made in stable environments carry different outcomes. You are not only living for today, you are shaping tomorrow. In the next revelation, you will understand how your house will begin influencing others without you even trying. Influence does not always require a platform. Sometimes it begins at the dinner table, in conversations, in atmosphere. Your miracle is maturing now, and maturity is what makes it unshakable. Stay attentive. Stay grateful. Stay aligned. The greatest impact of this shift is still unfolding. Beloved keeper of this sacred space, what is unfolding now will extend beyond your walls. The miracle that entered your house was never meant to remain contained there. Peace, when it becomes consistent, begins to influence everything connected to it. And you are about to see how atmosphere becomes impact. People will start responding to you differently. Not because you are trying harder, but because stability carries authority. When your house is anchored, your words carry more weight. When your environment is calm, your decisions reflect clarity. Others sense that, even if they cannot explain it. Conversations will begin to shift tone around you. Where negativity once dominated, solutions will surface. Where gossip once lingered, wisdom will interrupt. You may find yourself speaking less but saying more. That is the power of internal alignment. Archangel Michael's protection over your home has created a ripple effect. Protection produces confidence. Confidence produces calm leadership. And calm leadership influences environments far beyond the front door. You may be invited into spaces you were previously excluded from. Meetings, collaborations, family discussions, opportunities that once felt distant. Do not enter these spaces with insecurity. Enter with quiet assurance. You are not there by accident. The same alignment that sealed your house is guiding your steps outward. But hear this carefully. Influence tests character. When others begin to lean on your perspective, guard humility fiercely. Do not allow validation to become identity. Your identity was established before recognition arrived. There may also be moments where someone seeks your advice about their own home. Listen deeply. Share gently. Do not impose. The authority you carry is most powerful when it remains compassionate. This is also a season to guard against overextension. Just because you can help everyone does not mean you are assigned to. Balance remains essential. Protect your energy. Protect your time. Your house must remain your center, not your afterthought. You will begin to notice that what once intimidated you no longer does. Situations that previously triggered fear will now feel manageable. That internal shift is evidence that your miracle was not superficial. It strengthened your foundation. Financially, opportunities tied to collaboration may emerge. Partnerships, joint ideas, shared projects. Evaluate them wisely. Influence attracts proposals, but not every proposal aligns with your purpose. Seek peace before agreement. Emotionally, you may feel a deeper sense of responsibility. When stability increases, awareness increases. You may recognize how your tone, your mood, your presence affects those around you. That awareness is maturity. Use it intentionally. Now is also the time to amplify what is good. If this message has been strengthening your spirit, take action right now. Like this video to stand in agreement with the protection over your house. Share it with someone who needs restoration in their home. Comment with faith and testimony as you begin seeing change. Subscribe if you have not already, because these releases are strategic, not random. Join the membership if you desire deeper alignment and ongoing covering. Your engagement is not small. It multiplies impact. Remember this. Influence is not about being seen. It is about being effective. Your house has become effective. Its peace is producing fruit. There may come a moment soon where you reflect on how different things feel compared to just weeks ago. That reflection will confirm the timeline shift you stepped into. Do not minimize it. Celebrate quietly. Gratitude preserves momentum. In the next revelation, you will understand how your house is becoming a place of refuge not just spiritually, but practically. There is a dimension of provision still unfolding that will surprise you. Stay attentive. The ripple has begun, and its reach is wider than you imagine. Steward of divine refuge, what is forming now within your house is not only spiritual atmosphere but tangible shelter. Your home is becoming a place where solutions are born, where weary hearts find rest, and where provision flows in ways that feel both natural and extraordinary. You may soon notice that people feel unusually comfortable confiding in you. They may open up about struggles they have hidden from others. Do not be surprised. When a house carries peace, it becomes a safe harbor. Archangel Michael's guarding has created more than protection. It has established sanctuary. Sanctuary is powerful because it restores strength quietly. Those who enter your space may leave with clarity they did not expect. Conversations at your table may shift someone's direction. Advice shared casually may carry life-changing weight. Never underestimate the impact of calm wisdom. There is also practical provision aligning with this refuge. You may find that your resources stretch further than before. Bills may feel lighter. Needs may be met without strain. This is not coincidence. It is order producing efficiency. When chaos leaves, waste leaves with it. You might discover new ways to manage your household that create surplus. Small adjustments could result in significant stability. Pay attention to ideas that surface spontaneously. Sometimes divine guidance sounds like simple common sense, but its timing reveals its origin. Your house is also becoming emotionally resilient. Challenges will still arise, but they will not destabilize you as before. When tension appears, resolution will follow more quickly. Arguments will shorten. Understanding will deepen. Patterns that once lasted weeks will dissolve within hours. This is maturity at work. You may even sense a calling to host something meaningful in your space. A gathering, a prayer moment, a celebration, a planning session. Do not rush it, but do not dismiss it either. When the time is right, your house will naturally extend its influence through hospitality. Archangel Michael's presence does not only defend against harm, it secures purpose. Your dwelling is not random square footage. It is assigned ground. There may also be unexpected gratitude directed toward you. Someone may thank you for something you did not even realize was significant. Receive it gracefully. Do not deflect appreciation out of discomfort. Gratitude confirms that impact is real. Financially, provision may come in ways that feel aligned with your gifts rather than your stress. Income connected to skill, creativity, or insight may increase. This is part of the long-term sustainability established earlier. You are not being blessed for display. You are being strengthened for stability. Guard against complacency. Stability can sometimes create comfort that dulls alertness. Continue maintaining what you have built. Continue speaking peace. Continue rejecting negativity quickly. Maintenance is ongoing, but it becomes easier as habits solidify. There is also healing still unfolding in subtle layers. You may realize that certain memories no longer sting as they once did. Certain triggers may lose intensity. That is proof that restoration reached deeper than surface behavior. In touch ruse. In moments of reflection, you may feel awe at how orchestrated this season has been. Remember that obedience opened the door. You responded at the appointed hour, and that response shifted outcomes. Your house is now positioned as a pillar in your life rather than a pressure point. And pillars support more than themselves. They hold weight for others. The final revelation will bring everything together. You will see how this miracle was not only about protection, not only about provision, but about positioning you permanently in alignment with your true calling. Stay attentive. What closes this message will seal what has begun in your house. Beloved child of divine timing, this is the sealing moment. Everything that has unfolded over your house was never random, never emotional exaggeration, never coincidence. It was positioning. Gradation positioned you. Exposure positioned you. Separation positioned you. Humility positioned you. And now, permanence is being established. This miracle was not sent to visit your house. It was sent to remain. There is a difference between a breakthrough that excites and a transformation that settles. Excitement fades. Transformation roots itself. What has taken place in your home is rooting itself into the foundation of your future. You will look back on this season and realize that this was the dividing line. Before this alignment, life felt reactive. After it, life feels intentional. Before this shift, you were defending constantly. After it, you are building confidently. Archangel Michael's assignment around your dwelling has now transitioned from active warfare to guarded watchfulness. The heavy battle is over. The guard remains, but the atmosphere is no longer tense. It is established. Your house is no longer a battleground. It is a headquarters, From here, decisions will be made with clarity. From here, peace will radiate outward. From here, provision will be managed wisely. From here, influence will expand naturally. But hear this final warning gently and clearly. Do not drift back into old thought patterns simply because time passes. Consistency is what locks miracles into permanence. Continue speaking life. Continue maintaining boundaries. Continue guarding your atmosphere. You may soon receive undeniable confirmation that this shift was real. A financial breakthrough finalized. A relationship fully restored. A door officially open. When it happens, do not be shocked. Expect it. You were prepared in advance. And remember how this began. Don't tell anyone. This is only for you. That instruction protected the seed while it was forming. Now, as fruit becomes visible, wisdom will guide what to share and when. Your testimony will not need exaggeration. The stability in your life will speak for itself. There will be people who ask, how did this change happen? And you will smile, knowing that it began with obedience at a precise moment. A moment when you chose alignment over distraction. A moment when you chose faith over doubt. Your house carries new authority now. Children who grow within it will feel it. Guests who enter will sense it. Decisions made inside it will reflect it. Peace will not feel temporary anymore. It will feel normal. That is the greatest miracle of all. When what once felt rare becomes routine. You were warned not to skip. And you did not. Because of that, your timeline shifted, your atmosphere cleared, and your future stabilized. Now seal this with declaration. Type "My house is established" in the comments if you receive this fully. Blessing code 9090 is now permanently activated over your home. And as this sacred journey closes, hear this with clarity. What began in your house must continue reaching others. Scripture declares, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." That light is not passive, it spreads. When you release through Super Thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are extending light into homes standing on the edge of breakthrough. I feel this strongly. I am sealing my agreement by sowing into what protected my house. As you sow, may open heavens respond over your dwelling. May provision pursue you. May peace multiply in your rooms. Let your giving become oil that keeps this flame burning for countless households. Do not delay this prophetic act. Step forward now and establish your covenant with the mission.